Let's first review last week's market and then talk about the outlook for next week. Last week was from December 22nd to December 28th. For Bitcoin, the weekly high closed at $90,588, which hit one of our targets. The weekly low was $86,420, basically hovering around the mid-range without breaking down. For Ethereum, the weekly high closed at $3,077, and the weekly low closed at $2,888. Just like Bitcoin, it stayed around the mid-range and did not break out in any clear direction. So overall, there isn't much to say. We are still in consolidation. If there is a rebound, you already know how to look at it. I've been talking about that repeatedly. There's nothing particularly new at the moment. I said very early on that this type of market structure is not suitable for most people to trade. If you didn't do well in the previous moves, staring at the chart every day and trading such a narrow range is mentally exhausting. Plus, New Year's Day is just around the corner. I've barely been watching Bitcoin. I usually just take a quick look before going to sleep, and it's always around $87,000. Around New Year's, I will release the monthly report and talk about the general trend for next year. Other than that, nothing has really changed. January's astrology is very chaotic, and I personally don't think it's necessary to interpret it in detail. From around January 13th until February 3rd, the market is either weak or consolidating. This week we've been hovering around the mid-range without any decent rebound, which suggests that January is more likely to choose a weak path. If the market chooses a weak trend and accidentally flushes downward, my bottom line for Bitcoin is $71,000. I've been very clear about this. Prices starting with 8 or 7, I am willing to buy. I don't think we'll see prices starting with 6, but if we do, then we see it. $71,000 is what I consider the worst-case scenario. Whether we get there or not is up to the market. I'm just preparing myself mentally. Other major altcoins would be similar. If Bitcoin goes into the 7 range, altcoins would probably have one final drop as well. Personally, I feel that starting from February next year, things should slowly begin to recover. After Bitcoin made a new high in October, it has not made a new low up to now. I said back in September that after the historical high, the market would enter a consolidation phase, no new highs and no new lows. December is almost over. If Bitcoin can firmly hold above $80,000, then for me, it confirms that my earlier view about Saturn ending its retrograde was very powerful. Next, about US stocks. Originally, I wanted to open another series next year to discuss the US stock market. However, because my Vedic astrology course was not completed and I still have other things to handle, in 2026 I basically won't be doing chart analysis for clients. I will spend at most 2 months finishing the clients who have been waiting since 2025, and then I won't take new ones. So, regarding US stocks, I may occasionally talk about them briefly during Crypto Weekly or daily updates, but I won't have time to make dedicated videos focused only on US stocks. Lastly, gold and silver. I personally sold all of my physical holdings this week. Don't panic and think that I've turned bearish on gold or silver. I'm bullish on them in the long term. It's just that, going forward, I'll trade gold and silver through ETFs. When I bought physical gold and silver, I didn't really understand them well. I even chose silver pieces based on how good they looked. That's actually not the right approach because decorative silver is more expensive than standard silver. Also, when selling physical silver, the price you get is usually lower. I chose to sell at this time because silver's recent move has been faster than I personally expected, so I want to be more cautious. Back in June, we said the upper level was 60. Now it's almost 80, right? Does it look like it has a high probability of breaking 100? Maybe. But I choose to observe. That's because I mentioned in a previous video that around January 10th or 11th of 2026, silver enters its Saturn major period. This timing is very important. I can't confirm silver's birth chart, so this is actually a good opportunity to see whether silver is influenced by that chart. At the same time, we can observe how deep this correction goes, which will help us better judge future trend inflection points. Next week is from December 29th to January 4th. we will continue using last week's weekly report levels, because there is still no clear direction. Alright, that's it for today. Weekly forecasts should never be viewed alone. They must be combined with daily and monthly charts. The daily charts fill in what the weekly might miss. I wish you all the best. May you buy at the bottom and sell at the top. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you found this helpful. Send this to your friends too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.